still don't know how to play this game. November 25th. Did you know that right in the description of this video is a link to my Patreon page where I teach yoga in a digital space. Every month there's workshops, 30-minute flows, 1-hour flows, a lot of content, a lot of different price tiers. Check it out. There are a lot of misconceptions about yoga. Really, there's really just two. Ooh, that's chilly. Now I look like I'm in a country club. Really, there's just two things to think about here. If you get into an asana, Warrior 1, Warrior 2, Mountain, doesn't matter what it is. If you settle into that posture, you don't settle into it. If let's say you get into that posture in the first few minutes, you're like, wow, this is easy. Well, there's really two ways that that's going to go. Either you've got a lot of functional mobility built up and developed through a lot of physical practice of yoga and movement, and you're now in a place where you can really start to explore where to go. What's in that posture? Where is the isometrics? Where's your movement and stillness? Right? What muscles are going, are firing? What stabilizers, antagonists and agonists? You can start to do that posture, hold it longer, get more functional movement out of it. Or you're doing the posture wrong. That's it. That's it. Doing the posture wrong can mean you have an injury, in which case if you're doing it and it hurts, don't do it. Ask the instructor. Ask me in the comments section. Don't do it. If it hurts, don't do it. If it feels easy, you're probably doing it wrong. Or like I said before, it's time to settle in and start exploring the posture more and start looking at things like binds and how you can develop the posture. In some cases, Tadasana, for example, the movement to be explored isn't physical. Once you're really confident in that posture, all of yoga is a moving meditation. Just like kata in martial arts. It's an opportunity to settle the mind. You're not worried about the physical space anymore, right? But you're still exploring the depth of the posture. You're not just standing there, I'm in my mountain, I'm in my Warrior 2. There's more to be found. So yeah, that's it. That's it. You're either doing it right and it's time to start exploring that posture and what it is, or you're doing it wrong and you need to reconsider it. Yoga is not calisthenics. It can be vigorous, you can build muscle doing it, but it's not about that. Yoga is about bone and brain. It's about moving our body through the full range of motion that our joints are capable of and allowing the body's supporting tissues to develop throughout that movement. It's not about getting, ripped abs. Eat, for crying out loud. Have a sandwich, have some ice cream. Have some joy in your life through food, but also have healthy movement. The idea of doing yoga and having other people cue you so you can't walk the next day is quite frankly asinine. And I do not subscribe to it. I believe that you can have a physically challenging practice and it can still be yoga. Some people add things and props, and they turn it into calisthenics. Just do calisthenics. There's a fantastic book, You Are Your Own Gym. Go do that. It's a great book. I do it. It's calisthenics. It's bodyweight exercises. It's not yoga. And yoga's been around for a very long time. I have no problem with whatever it is anybody's doing for themselves. But look at yesteryear's fads. Jazzercise, and cardio kickboxing, and Taebo, and Thigh Master. They're fads, they come and they go. Calisthenics and yoga, I mean, like the Greeks when they had the original Olympics. You know, calisthenics bodyweight exercises were a big deal. They still are. They're legitimate. So is yoga. Yoga is not calisthenics. If you do not have a lot of functional mobility right now, and you're just starting off, yoga can feel like calisthenics. Yoga can cross over a little bit with a very energetic flow. It can cross over quite a bit. But the end result is something different. And how we get there is different also. I love calisthenics. I do them. Sometimes I lift weights. I have no problem with these things. Don't confuse them. Don't expect calisthenics when you go into a studio. Don't expect the instructor to just cue you until you're sweating blood and you can barely walk the next day. That's not what this is about. That's not healthy movement. I've done that. I've done it a lot in the dojo and when I was in the Army and on my own. And it can be fun for its own sake in different ways. I don't argue that. But that's not what we do in yoga. It's not what we do in power yoga. And I know there are people out there who teach yoga who disagree with me. That's fine. That's great. I teach yoga. And if somebody wants me to, I would be happy to teach calisthenics. But right now I teach yoga. Yeah. Thanks for joining me on my practice today. Eat lots of food. Don't worry about anything. Eat lots of food. Eat all the food. You can always do a practice tomorrow. Namaste.